Legend from Bulgaria. Secondary School Vasilevsky from Haskovo town. Our legend's name is the Holy Spring. This is a legend about a water spring that helped a blind woman. In a village lived a woman who couldn't see. She was very unhappy because she couldn't see her small beautiful daughter and her husband. The woman often cried. One night a good angel appeared in her dream and told her to go to the near forest to find a stone with water coming from it, to wash her eyes and to stay there during the night. The woman went to this place and did everything. The next morning she could see her family. They all were very happy. Soon, many sick people started to visit the holy place. The miracle water helped all of them. People built a small chapel on this place. They named the chapel after Saint Anna, the patroness of the women and the children. Every year there is a special ceremony on 26th of July, the day of Saint Anna. In 2003, the mayor of the village built a tall cross on the holy place. This is the end of the Bulgarian legend. The story was told by Petya, a pupil from grade 5th.
France. Collège Pierre et Marie Curie, Albert. The story was written by the pupils. The title is Bayonville's Moon Fisherman.
Once upon a time there was a peasant called Robert. He lived in the village of Bayonville. One day he took his bull to the pond. He took his fishing rod and started fishing. His bull came close to the water under the beautiful full moon. While it was drinking, a cloud began to hide the moon until it disappeared. At that moment, Robert decided to go and see his bull. He looked at it out of the corner of his eye. Robert was so terrified. Robert ran to the village screaming. Villagers were wondering what happened. Robert explained that his bull had drunk the moon, but a peasant told him that it was fake and that a clown had gone by at that moment, and everybody laughed at him. And since then the story is told from villages to villages, and everybody mocks at Bayonville's moon fisherman.
It's the end of the story. The story was told by Roman Bessin.
The Myth of Persephone, a story from Greece.
Mother, I'm going to the meadow with my friends to cut flowers.
Okay, my daughter, have a nice time and take care.
Persephone and her friends were spending their time free and easy, singing and laughing. Looking for the most beautiful flowers, Persephone went away. As she was alone, Pluto appeared.
How beautiful are you, Persephone? You will be my wife. Come with me to Shades, and you will be the queen of the underworld.
Oh no, don't! Mother, help! Persephone disappeared. No one saw anything. Only Helios knew what happened. Demeter waited for her daughter to come back, but in vain. She was crying,
Persephone, Persephone! It's no use in looking for your daughter. She was caught by Hades. Alas, oh my God!
Without knowing what to do, Demeter decided to ask for Zeus' help, the head of gods.
Zeus, Pluto took my daughter. I beg of you, do something. I can't live without her.
Demeter, I am in a difficult position. I am afraid. I can't do anything. Pluto is my brother. I can't break his heart.
Well, I'm leaving now, as you don't help me.
Demeter started going round and round crying. Where she was passing from, trees were fading and flowers were drying. People and animals were dying from hunger. Zeus saw this disaster and took action.
Hermes, come and see the catastrophe. Go immediately to Pluto and ask him to send Persephone back. Demeter will destroy everything because of her anger.
I'm going right now. Pluto, it's as Zeus ordered to send Persephone back to Demeter. I can't. I love her. I'm afraid you can't. It's an order. Well, give me a little time to say goodbye. Persephone, my dear, you should go. Your mother is asking for you. Before leaving, I would like to offer this pomegranate.
Persephone came up again to the upper wall together with Hermes. Mother and daughter met each other. Demeter's happiness was so great that nature was reborn. However, the pomegranates Pluto offered Persephone made her remember him again. 6 months later, she went to Hades downward to find Pluto. For 6 months every year, Persephone stayed with Demeter and it was spring. For the rest 6 months, she returned back to Pluto and it was winter.
The myth of Persephone is one of the oldest of all Greek myths. Her story is a personification of some of the most universal concepts about life and death. In her youth, Persephone represents the powerful bond between a mother and a daughter and the often difficult transitions from maidenhood to marriage. As the goddess of springtime and rebirth, she is eternally connected to the cycles of the earth, which lies barren in her absence and bloom again each spring with her return.
And her initiatory experience in the realm of the dead, it's such as a powerful experience that it changed her life forever. It is after this transformation that we remember her most for her role as the Greek goddess of this underworld. In this track we heard the voices of the students of the 6th grade: Christine, Mary, Iphigenia, Mary Kate, Maria Glikeria, Kostas, Panagiotis, Alexis and Panagiotis.
Lithuania. This story was released by pupils from Class 1B of Kalvarijos Gymnasium. The legend about Kačergių Hill.
Situated in the furthest part of Kalvarijos municipality, Kačergių Hill with an observation tower overlooks the Lithuanian-Polish border. Ages ago, this picturesque site was imprisoned by the iron wall, which remains are still visible nowadays. Thus, the unique landscape proves to be untouched by modern civilization, and it's likely to attract curious tourists. They also tend to be amazed by the old legend which is passed on to generations. Let's listen to the story. Once upon a time, there was a magnificent mansion, well known for its rich, hard-working, obedient, and religious people. They used to get on well without any quarrels. Everyone was happy as they did not lack anything, and their life was prosperous too. It was believed that there was a church with a golden roof there, so that everyone knew that people are flourishing in that mansion. The community led a merry lifestyle. They knew how to enjoy the life. They sang songs to honor their national identity.
This
Lithuanians believe that money spoils a person. To illustrate the proverb, let's go back to the legend. As the time passed, obedient and sincere people of the mansion became notorious and villain. Witches and devils were arguing and on the spree when all of a sudden the god appeared in the middle of the crowd shrank. What's going on in this part of the land? Where has your devotion disappeared? I let you lead a flourishing life since you were my obedient servants. As far as I can see, you haven't been worth it, thrown into earth with all your sin and vices. Of the mansion sank down the earth with a false pride and a great treasure. Just the hole, which seems to be closing, remained there. Old people say that in the past they could hear the golden roofs of a disappearing mansion ring if they had taken a longer polka.
This is the end of the legend. This story was told by Saulė Kupstaitė, music played by Sigutė Valentaitė Rugienė, a folk song was sung and dialogues were role-played by students from class 1B.
This legend was prepared by the students of primary school number 1 in Gniewkowo, Poland. The title of the legend is Lech, Czech and Rus.
A long, long time ago, when all Slavs lived together in the same land and spoke the same language, there were 3 brothers, Lech, Czech and Rus, who lived in peace with their people. They were wise and good leaders of their kin. But the time had come when the earth could no longer feed their people. In the forests there were not enough wild animals and the rivers did not supply enough fish. The 3 brothers sat in the shadow of big trees and discussed to find a good solution. As the first spoke, the oldest brother rose.
Brothers, we can't live here any longer. Our land is overcrowded and we will not have anything to eat here.
You are right,
agreed the second brother, Czech.
But what should we do?
We must leave this place to find a new one,
answered the youngest brother, Lech.
Your advice is wise. We will set off to find better lands for our people,
said Czech and Rus. They did what they decided. The way was long and difficult, full of dangerous animals and hard nature. But they were strong and bravely passed dense forests, wide rivers and high mountains. After a long journey, the forest thinned and they saw a beautiful land crossed by hills and lakes. The brothers were happy to see such a wonderful view, especially Lech. On one of the hills they saw a huge, wide-spreading oak, and on its top a white eagle had built a nest. When seeing the approaching people, this beautiful bird spread its wings and flew into the air. Lech found it as a god sign to settle here and set up his town.
He liked the white eagle on the red background of the setting sun so much that decided it would be the emblem of his country, and the town which was built in this place he called Gniezno. It was the first capital of his country, and it was the beginning of the country of Polish people who were called Lechists for a long time.
And the other brothers went further on, but after some time they decided to split up. Rus said goodbye at the first and went to the east. He chose the land of endless steppes and vast, fertile plains with broad rivers now called Russia. Czech and his people headed to the south. He founded his own state near High Mountain on rich and fertile land, now called the Czech Republic. This is the end of the story. The story was told by Bartłomiej Czalatka,
Mikołaj Matuszak,
Jan Buszek.
The legend of Almond Blossom. Many centuries ago, before Portugal exists, and when Algarve belonged to Arabs, a famous young king, Ibn al-Mundium, that had never known defeat, reigned in Chelb, future Silves. One day, among the prisoners of a battle, saw the beautiful Gilda, a blonde princess with blue eyes and proud bearing. Impressed, the Moorish king gave her the freedom, gradually earned her trust, and one day confessed his love and asked her to be his wife. When they were happy for a while, but one day the beautiful princess of the north felt ill for no apparent reason. A caliph of the old lands of the north asked to be received by the despaired king and told him that the princess suffered from snow nostalgia from her far country. The solution was within reach of the Moorish king. It was just a matter of ordering the planting of almond trees throughout his kingdom, and his white flowers will give the princess the illusion of snow, and she will be cured of her nostalgia. The following spring, the king took Gilda to the window on the terrace of the castle, and the princess felt that her strength was coming back when she saw this scenario of white flowers. The Moorish king and the princess lived long years of intense love, and year after year they were anxious waiting for the spring that brought the wonderful spectacle of almond blossom.
Legend has it that around the year 1541, during the second reign of Petrarch, reaching close to the Rarão mountain, known as Mount Todirescu at the time, the ruler left his wife, his son, and a large part of his fortune up there. Petrarch went to gather force, while his wife, Mistress Elena, along with their son Ștefăniță, stayed up on the mountain so that they and their wealth should be protected from invaders. But one day the Turks showed up. Mistress Elena and her son hid in a cave and began to pray. Legend says that they suddenly heard a huge thunder and huge rocks fell on top of the spot where the royal treasure had been hidden. The Turks who were trying to enter the treasure cave were knocked down by the large boulders, but the family of Petrarch were left unscathed. They stayed alive and managed to elude capture by enemies, but at the cost of the riches that remained closed forever in the heart of the earth. The Rarău mountain got its name from the local people in honor and memory of the Moldavian prince Petru Rareș, and the rocks that helped Mistress Elena escape unharmed were called the Lady Stones.
My lady, my dear wife, I brought you here up in the mountains so you would be protected from the invaders that are plundering our country. The Turks have ravaged everything that came out in their way. They set fire to houses, animals, and killed innocent women and children. That is why I had to bring you here. I need to know that you are safe, and that so is our wealth. I must get back to Gator Force and crush these bloodthirsty enemies who are after our fortunes. The time has come to bid you farewell. Take care of our most priceless treasure, our dear son Ștefăniță.
My lord, God will take care of us. Go to battle and may you return healthy and victorious. Ștefăniță, my boy, where are you, Ștefăniță?
What's happening, Mom? Why are you scared? What's with that noise coming from downhill?
Ștefăniță, we must hide quickly. I think the Turks have reached us up here. Come on, quickly, we've got no time to lose.
Look everywhere. There were people around here and they didn't have enough time to run away too far.
The Turks have found our possessions and wanted to steal them, but their greed has cost them their lives, and our most precious treasure is the fact that we are still alive.
Romania, the legend of the Rarău mountain, realized by the students of George Voivodca Secondary School in Câmpul Moldovenesc. This story was performed by Ovidiu Zaeț, Bianca Mădălina Tudose, Ioana Nisioi, and David Daniel Greșanu. This is the end.
Hello, I am Nisanur. I am Yunus Emre. And I am Bekir. We are from Kongre Elementary School in Sivas, Turkey. The name of our legend is Dragon on the Hill.
Once upon a time, in Çargören village of Sivas, a farmer lived with his wife. He was a poor man, and the only things he got were 2 cows. One day, he went to the countryside to feed his cows. Suddenly, he saw a big thing flying towards him. It was very huge. As it came closer, he understood that it was a very big dragon. He was very frightened, and he didn't know what to do. Then he ran away and hid behind a rock. There he prayed God, "My God, if you save me from this dragon, I will sacrifice one of my cows for you," he said. As soon as he finished his prayer, the dragon became stone. Happily, the farmer turned back home, and that night he told his wife all the story. The next day, he took his wife with him to show the stone dragon. His wife was a young, beautiful, and clever woman. But when they arrived there, the dragon came back to life again. The farmer was shocked, but his wife was angry. "You didn't keep your promise and sacrifice the cows. Now see what happened. I will sacrifice the cow and share the meat with neighbors," she said. As she finished her words, the dragon became stone again. This time there was a spring in the mouth of the dragon, and the water was very good. The wife kept her promise, sacrificed the cow, and shared the meat with the others. Then they lived happily ever after.
This is the end.